Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is CJ and welcome back to Exotic Nootropics. Today we've got another slightly different one. We have a lot of growth going on in this tabletop greenhouse, and the spider plants have put out lots and lots of, I think they're called spiderettes. They're basically baby spider plants. These are more than large enough to harvest now, so we're going to go through and we're going to chop them all off. There's a lot of them. So I'll take you through the whole process of doing this, potting them up and making them into their own little plant. Step one, when any sort of cutting of any plant is on the table, is we need to sterilize our tools. Obviously we don't want to give any sort of contamination to any plant. As such, we use our isopropyl alcohol, which you have seen in the Nepenthes seedling video or seed video. We're just basically going to dab it on to our paper towel. We're going to close it so that we're not getting completely gassed by like 100% alcohol. Again, if you are under the age of 18, get someone to help you with this, because I do not want to be liable for you accidentally hurting yourself. So we're just wiping over the blades with the alcohol. Just make sure there's no bacteria, basically nothing living on it. Just be careful when you're doing this. You don't want to stab yourself. You don't want to drink the alcohol. You know, just be mindful. It's quite dangerous. As I've only got one hand available because I'm holding the camera with the other one, we're just gonna have a look at the situation, and then I'll be cutting them off camera because I only have one hand. So I need to be able to grab the actual cuttings. Here you can see there are some all the way over there, which I think the majority of those are good size to be harvested. There is a couple of smaller ones. If I can, this is very awkward. See that tiny one there? That's not large enough to be harvested. I actually thought they'd all be large enough at this point. But there's many, many, many. Look, they all go. There's even ones down sitting on that pot down there. See? They're all over the place. So we're going to go through, we're going to harvest them all, and then I will show you the aftermath. Out of all of that, we've got ourselves 29 new plants. Now, some of these will not be mature enough to go into pots. They will have to go into water. This one is mature enough. You can see it's got a root coming out the bottom of it. As long as it's got roots coming off it, it's going to be great to go in a pot, and then that will grow up. But we have a huge mound of them here. Some of them are huge, some of them are tiny. This one's larger, but doesn't have a root. It's all a little bit all over the place. They've got some beautiful flowers on them. So that's a flower of a spider plant, and then we've also got some seeds. So we're doing pretty damn well with these. We've got some big behemoths. Again, that's got a root on it, so that's all good. For these, I'm thinking we're going to do a tiny bit of compost. We're going to do a bit of sand, and the majority is going to be cocoa coir. And then obviously in the bottom, we're going to put our beautiful bark, as always. Back onto our trusty tray then. Our first thing we're going to do is put a ton of cocoa coir. We're going to fill this tray, is the plan, because there's going to need to be way more than, oh my god, I can't move this. There we go. There's going to need to be way more than one pass of soil. I'm actually going to move the tray over just to put these on so I don't drop it everywhere. So you can see I'm still putting it on. I can actually put it in front of the camera still, no problem. So lots and lots of coir. It's going to be the main part of this media. It's coir, coir, coir. I love my coir. Can't go wrong with a bit of coir. The battery on this camera is dying. Oh no. Okay, we're going to have to charge the camera pretty damn soon. It's down to 1 bar. I will keep an eye on it. When it cuts out, I will stop and I will charge it. Just get as much as we can done in this lighting, because the lighting in here gets worse and worse, and obviously I can't leave all the lights on because there's animals in here that start to go to sleep and they need a proper REM cycle. A REM cycle? Is that what it's called? I don't know, they need a proper sleep cycle, basically. You can't start messing with it. So lots and lots and lots of coir. In fact, I might skip through this real quick, just so we get a nice base layer of coir, and then you'll see what's happening. Right, I'm going to call that our coir layer finished for now. We're now back with a full battery. So we have our cocoa coir in. This is now our cocoa coir layer, kind of fills the entire tray. Our next step is going to be adding our compost. Let's go, boom, our really heavy looking compost. I think we're just going to do 2 handfuls, to be honest with you, because they don't need much from what I recall. So that's now our compost. And then we're just going to grab some sand and we'll mix it all in and we'll see where we are at. We may want to add a bit of that cork bark? Jesus, not cork bark. What's the word? Bark. And it's orchid bark. There we go. Get there in the end. Brain, please. My goodness. Onto the sand, because I seem to recall I added sand to the last substrate, so that's a bit of sand right there. So we've got a nice little gradient going on, you know, nice and pretty. We've got our light brown, dark brown, going more towards black, and then we've got our even lighter brown, more yellowy brown. Lots of different shades of brown going on. Put one more half handful of sand on, just to add that a little bit. And then I am just going to add a tiny bit of bark in, literally not much. One thing that I figured out the other day is I actually have a whole other container of bark. So there's plenty of bark to go around. I'm going to put one more handful of bark again. Boom. And now you're just going to watch me mix it up. I will speed through this process and then it'll be up to potting up. This might be a nightmare. What is this? We have a stone. Why have we acquired a stone in... I'm assuming that came in the compost. Why? Don't need stone. Right, let's get into this. Okay, the camera's not focusing very well. I'm actually very happy with how this has come out. Send out a really nice colour, really nice mix. I'm pretty damn happy with this. Camera makes it look a little bit different for some reason, but it's nice and dark. Looks a little bit bright on camera. You can see how the colour changes as the shadow goes over. So this is cool. What I am going to do is I will show you potting up one plant and I'll take you through why I choose the pot size, and then we'll come back when we've got an army of potted up plants, because I don't think you really want to watch that and I don't want to speed through it that much because it will probably be about an hour. We've got a really nice pungent smell coming off the compost. Let's go. Always love that. Right, we will basically cut to where I've got a pot and a plant and we'll start potting up. What we've got here is we've got something like 21 pots and a plant ready to go, and then we've got our media as well. As I just drop a pot off the bottom, that's 2 pots off the bottom, okay. This is the size of pot that I'm going with. I'm going with this size because it's got a nice opening at the top and it is a bit deeper. So the plants can stay in them for a little bit longer. Should still allow for plenty of drainage. The one thing you need to be really careful of if you are new or if you water your plants a lot is the pot size. The smaller the pot, the less water it will retain. The larger the pot, the more media, the more soil, the more water it will retain. And then you risk root rot. And when you've got baby ass plants like this, you don't want root rot. You don't want any issues. So the idea is we're just gonna basically very shallow plant it and then it should root itself. That's the general idea. I just realized I just cut my finger open as well. But I do that all the time. I don't know how I managed to do that. Right, you've seen this all before. Let's just move the plant out of the way so I don't do anything stupid. So that's the most important part. We're just gonna pop our pot on there. Just move it down here so you can see the opening. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna put our bark in the bottom. Yeah, so we get a handful of bark, drop it. That is way too much bark. That is way too much bark for a pot that's this size. So we're just gonna pour a bit back into the bag. Okay, that is much more acceptable. You can just about see it in the bottom there. I don't want to tip it up because it will lose it all. And then we're just going to shove in our first handful of media, which almost filled the entire pot. So we're just going to try and be smart about this. So we've got one there. One there. We're just going to make like a little trough type thing in the middle. So you see that? There's a little valley running there. Then we're going to grab our plant, which is here, which actually has a bit of the stem. So you see here, we've got a root coming off here. We've got another root forming down here, and we've got another root coming off. Oh, sorry, you can't see. God damn it. Come on, camera. Root here, root there, and another root forming just next to it. And then we've got this, which was the cutoff as well. So we're just going to place this in here and we're going to pinch it together. Just going to try and make sure most of the plant is above the soil line, and then we're just going to fill around the edges. It is a little bit awkward because it is obviously a baby plant. I'm going to put a little bit more soil around the edges, just a tiny bit more. And then we press down a little bit. Bring that leaf up, make sure it's above the soil line. And then when we water, we're going to try and make sure we remove the soil from the top bit, which I will show you in a second. I'm just gonna, so I'm allowing like a water well, even though I don't water from the top, so it's just kind of a little bit more stability for the plant to grow up. Right, the water's over there. I'll be 2 seconds. So you're going to see what I'm going to do here for the water. So I'm just going to blast it a bit. I'm just going to slightly bully the plant to get that soil off the edges of it. See that? So nicely compacted down. This is now a planted, I'm just going to put a bit more there. Boom, that is now a baby spider plant, nice and planted. And you can see how aesthetically pleasing they look. Once you pot one up, it's so beautiful. Look at that. That's so gorgeous. Right, next step is 29 more or 28 more. Here. I'm not going to skip through this. We're going to teleport to where I've done loads of them. This is the aftermath of potting up all of the baby spider plants. You can see lots and lots of spider plants now in this really well lit under table area, which is actually new to us. So there's actually a lot of plants now under here. Absolute jungle in here at this point. And that is how to, number one, harvest. I know you didn't really see me cut them, but pretty straightforward on that one. And pot up baby spider plants. If you like this video, drop a like and a subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated. My name is CJ and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.